Today we are trying to correct some of the internet's worst rage bait recipes. We've each been assigned an atrocity that we have to turn into something that stays true to the original but works and is delicious. Let's hope we can bring a little bit of light back into the world.
So the recipe I was given was meat face. Now the problem with meat face was it was just a mass of beef mince with some Pringles around it and some holes cut into it. It was a ridiculously terrible idea. I think I can make it better by switching the ratios around. Let's have a face made out of mashed potato and then a mixed grill, a plethora of meats cooked individually and perfectly in their own way to form the facial features. We'll still have eggs for eyes.
Listening to you describe this is amazing.
But essentially, we're going for a mixed grill meat face.
And he hasn't even told you about the main amendment, which is it's no longer just a face, it's going to be his face.
Let's try and make my face.
What's crazy is I actually think Jamie is in his comfort zone here.
First things first, I'm bashing out some chicken breasts. They're going to form my glasses and my eyes.
So I was allocated the horrendous frozen spaghetti hoop sandwich containing peanut butter and mayonnaise. And having eaten it after Ben and Mark, it was disgusting. So can I create something that keeps the essence, utilises all of those ingredients, but actually tastes nice? So I'm going to make a peanut butter ice cream sandwich with a basil mayo, a spaghetti hoop sauce chili jam, and also, because this is rage bait, turn it into a lasagna.
Oh, I need a picture. Give me a picture.
Here you go.
Oh, you actually...
I've actually drawn it.
What the...
Wow.
Okay.
So I'm taking the essence of the spaghetti hoops and making them big and flat by deep frying lasagna sheets, but I am also going to crisp up some of the hoops from the tin as crispy decoration to sit on top. Starting with my tomato spaghetti hoop sauce chili jam, I've drained my spaghetti hoops, which is super sweet, so I'm going to add some acidity and more of a tomatoey flavour with tomato paste, a little bit of sesame oil to carry through that nuttiness throughout the dish, and some chopped chilies.
I am tackling the butter chicken tiramisu. Tiramisu is my favourite dessert in the world because tiramisu means pick me up. The coffee is a really important part because it brings you to life. The version the guys had was lifeless. I'm trying to add as much flavour and pizzazz into this tiramisu, but keeping it a tiramisu. So to start, I'm taking away the lady fingers and I'm putting in chicken fingers. And then instead of the coffee syrup, I've got an intense butter chicken oil-based, rich, spicy sauce to coat my chicken tenders, which are not burning. Then to envelop all of that, I've got a slightly sweetened mascarpone cream with a lot of beautiful Indian spices. The one we had cold, which I wasn't a massive fan of, but I can't see how I'm gonna make this one hot, so I've got to work that bit out right now, because I've got a lot of hot things going on at the moment.
The challenge with using mashed potato as a face is it's not the right colour of my face. So we're going to adjust it with a little bit of turmeric, tomato ketchup, some double cream. I don't just want it to look like my face, I want it to taste as good as my face.
For my tomatoey butter base, I've got garlic, ginger, I've got my garam masala going in to toast the spices off. I've also got some cayenne pepper for some proper heat and a bit of turmeric. I want this to be mega punchy because there's so much cream in this. I want the chicken fingers to really be the pick-me-up of this dish. And I want the colour to be vibrant so it seeps into the cream later on.
So I'm now frying some of my spaghetti hoops from the tin in some oil so that they're nice and crispy. And let's be honest, if I'm going to recreate this, the spaghetti hoops have to feature somehow. So this sitting on the top of the lasagna sheets mean that it's going to be one of the first things you see, so the essence is still there. And they're already cooked. So really this is just taking all of that moisture out of them and then crisping them up.
Can I get an opinion?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I can give.
What are we thinking? Colour's not my strong point, so I am going to need some help.
It's quite Homer Simpson-y.
Yeah, you
right
need
now.
a bit of a pinkish tinge.
More
to
pink,
that.
more ketchup.
Okay. So now I need to toast my spices. Smoked paprika, turmeric, cayenne pepper, and garam masala. Want it to be spicy, needs to be spicy.
I found some red pepper powder. I think that's going to help to bring some of the yellow down. Also add a little bit of spice to it. Great flavour. I'm not 100% convinced on the colour, but I have got to move on. Lamb cutlet is starting to fry. In the meantime, I'm going to work on my hare. My hare is going to be made from pulled pork. Didn't have time to smoke a pork shoulder, so I've got some pre-made pulled pork, which you can heat up, can rip into individual strands, and then we'll see how spiky, mullety, skin fadey we can make it.
These worked. Some of them are burnt. Some of them have done nothing. These fried spaghetti hoops look gammy. They actually taste delicious. So I'm happy with those.
This needs to be punchy. Really punchy. It's pretty punchy. So remember, this sauce is replacing what would be the coffee syrup. So it needs to pack a punch, and it needs to soak into the fingers. Lady fingers, famously very absorbent. Chicken, not so much. So I'm going to get this into the sauce and leave it there for as long as possible now. So I kind of want to lose the crunchiness that I've created from the air fryer. And soak all that in because I want that to then leach into the cream later on. Come on.
This summer, we're going back to our actual old school, the place where the four of us met to host our summer live streamed weekend show. It's 2 days of classic sorted silliness, food, fun and origin stories where it all began. And it's happening soon on the 25th and 26th of July. You can get tickets below and join live or on demand. Either way, we would love to have you join us.
And now, leaving that to soak those soggy fingers and then to move on to our delicious, slightly spiced mascarpone cream. Cardamom, star anise.
Why are you doing this on my bench? Can't you do this on your bench?
I absolutely can. So, time to cut out my glasses. Okay. Yes. Glasses.
So a little bit of lemon juice and sugar into this. Thinking ahead because I am learning this year. As soon as that gets poured, it's going to go everywhere. So I'm going to thicken it up with some maize starch. Basically, it's just a food thickener. And we stir that in, but that should give it a little bit more body and structure so it holds a little bit more than just oozing everywhere. It's sweet, it's got some tang from lemon, some heat from chili, but you can really taste the tomato coming through now. It's nice and thick, so I'm going to blend it up and then chill it.
Now, if you're trying to make this hair like mine, I've read the comments, I know that I'm going grey, so I can't have it all brown. So I've got to use my barbecue sauce sparingly, but also keep some without so much barbecue sauce on it, so you get that kind of point of difference.
This bit, it definitely isn't normal within a tiramisu world. Adding some Greek yogurt, because it feels like it needs a bit more of a tang to go with the chicken as well.
So you might have detected an underlying worry, not only because this is a really difficult task, but also Kush, who actually made the originals from the video last week, is coming down to pass his thoughts. He's going to judge these and basically tell us whether or not they're an improvement or not. So the harshest of chef judges coming at the end.
Might put a little bit of saffron there as well. Fleck of colour. Be yummy. Lemon zest. Needs a lemon zest.
So for my peanut butter ice cream, I'm using the Cheats method, which is condensed milk, double cream, stirring in peanut butter, then whisking it till it's like a thick custard, then adding a little bit of vanilla, stirring that all through, and then in the freezer for at least 6 hours. Oh no, I forgot vanilla. I forgot the vanilla. Vanilla.
There is a chance this is going to work. They don't need to cook for very long, so let's chuck a pan over the top of that, steam those in there. Boys, I think we're ready to plate. Oh no, we're ready to plate.
When you say we, you mean you and your mate?
Yeah.
Should we deep fry some lasagna sheets? That's not just nice because it's okay. That's actually nice, in my opinion. Kush might say otherwise.
Half of one of these per eyebrow.
Have you turned around? You should turn around.
Do I want to turn around now or do I want to save this moment?
But actually, maybe you save this moment.
I think... Oh, now I know it's there.
I know. I know.
Crispy onion base. One chicken finger, one. I can get two in the bottom. Two, maybe, can I get a third in there, do you reckon? Third finger? 3 fingers. Little green chilies. And then cream. I think I want to make it look like a dessert.
I'm not sure how I remove this. We have to cut around it. I did not think about that.
Which way round your ears go?
I think that's enough cream. Let's see if I can make it look pretty now. Flatten it out. I looked.
You looked.
I looked. I haven't absorbed what I've seen. But now, wow!
Is that better? I don't know.
It's really good.
I can't tell if I've done the ears the right way round.
Oh, I know what you mean.
We can smooth it. Our basil sauce. But it doesn't look good. And that is because I think I put a little bit too much of that thickening gel in it. That's what I wanted. Peanut butter ice cream on top. Basil mayo on top. I think I have suffered from over-ambition, but hey, if you don't try new things, you'll never learn. I'm going to take some of the basil oil, see if I can dribble it around it. It's still solidifying, so it's just dropped. Oh. Oh dear. The ambition was there. The ambition was there.
Right, you ready for this? This is butter chicken tiramisu Mark II.
Oh,
Yep,
that's heavy.
it is. Aim here was to get as much flavour on those fingers, because the ones we tried last time were weak, bland, quite. It was over creamy, not enough of a pick me up.
It wasn't a good tiramisu, you're saying?
Well, no, I think this could be the best butter chicken tiramisu.
Okay. First of all, curry leaves aren't used in butter chicken, but nice try.
That's all right. That's all right. You got a good cross section there. Got a couple of chilies on the bottom.
Chilies on the bottom.
Got some crispy onions in there. Cardamom.
For texture?
Yeah. Cardamom and lemon
I'm going to go
and
smaller.
chai spiced cream.
It's really offensive on the nose
Why?
because it's a dessert by looks.
Is it? Where's the sweet element?
I didn't want to go too sweet. I wanted it to be a savoury dish with a sweet touch.
Okay, that's backwards how I thought it might taste. You've managed to make a lot of flavour disappear.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
I've got a burn of chili at the back,
Yep.
and then a lot of cold cream that's flavoured like a Indian panna cotta. But
Yeah.
it's very light cream. Yeah, I think the sweetness, if you thought of it as seasoning, would bring everything out.
Okay,
Because there's no
gotcha, I
salt in
gotcha.
your cream, so it's not seasoned. It's not seasoned cream. You've got a lot of unseasoned dairy.
For a chicken-based dish, I put a lot of sugar in it.
Nah, I could take
So
more.
I think that's what's thrown
Could take
me.
more. Could take more.
Okay, well, I was given the frozen spaghetti hoop peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich.
I'm going to start it. That was hard to try and make and eat.
I was ambitious, and, well, I'll let you draw your own conclusions.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
cold.
It is not the way I wished it turned out, but it is what it is.
I like the look of it.
This is fried lasagna sheets
Right.
with a peanut butter ice cream,
Right.
a sweetened basil mayonnaise sauce
Where?
inside,
Oh, inside.
which
Okay.
solidified, and then a tomato chili jam.
Right.
So you've turned it into an ice cream sandwich.
Yes.
Amazing.
Taken a frozen spaghetti hoop sandwich and made an ice cream sandwich out of it, and there's spaghetti hoop sauce in the tomato jam.
And the hoops have been toasted.
And the hoops have been fried. Oh dear.
Oh, wow, that tomato. Got some kick to it. Got some chili to it.
Too much chili.
No. That is delicious.
No!
You've got texture, freshness from basil, sweet, the roastiness, these crunchy, candied pasta, hoops.
Yeah.
Because they've been, I'm guessing you didn't wash them, that's
No,
why they've
just-
gone brown.
Took them out of the tin and put them straight into oil.
So all the tomato sauce around them is candied and caramelised. Fat from fried pasta, the little kick of tomato. You made your own ice cream?
I made my own ice cream.
Because the original was rock solid, ice cold, teeth shatteringly disgusting.
Madness.
You've softened it, elevated it, presented it in a way that can be eaten on the go
Still a sandwich.
or plated like this. Because imagine those out of a cart wrapped in paper walking down a beach.
Yeah, I kind of, yeah.
Southern Italy, that kind of vibe with the basil. Wow, wow, wow.
Now the bit I think we've all been looking forward to.
buzzing for this.
I made meat face.
I think it's brilliant.
This has got a lot to take apart. park those for a minute. Right,
It's a mixed grill.
where do we start?
It's a mixed grill.
I'm going to analyse every element.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Mashed potato,
Turmeric,
very sweet.
ketchup, and some red pepper chili flakes because my skin can be a bit blotchy.
Okay, nice. Pulled pork,
Pulled pork, a little bit of barbecue sauce, heavy on the salt and pepper.
nicely seasoned. Your egg yolks,
Oh, jammy.
jammy inside, that's lovely. Can we see pink? I would have preferred it a bit less cooked, but it's still very tender. Nicely seasoned.
It's well cooked meat, just arranged in a really silly way.
It's a joyful dish.
It tastes really nice.
I think it's a family meal. Imagine going to the supermarket and rather than getting a frozen pizza, there's a frozen meat face.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I think you could be onto something here. I think we all know the winner is Michael in terms of
Yeah.
deliciousness of dish. Jamie next. It's relatively simple, painting my numbers, adding stuff to some potato. Barry just needed more. It needed to be a
It needed more
dessert.
madness. Okay,
It needed
yeah.
to be a dessert with chicken, not chicken with lots of cream.
Yeah, I
Start
think
with
so.
something that was
Passable.
passable, but no reason for it to exist.
Yeah.
You've made it a bit better.
But still pointless.
No, I think a Indian spiced tiramisu would be a delicious thing.
Well, that's what the chef thought. Do you agree? If you liked the video, give it a like. We're getting 15,000 on every video. It's called a streak.